Independent Truth and Peace Initiative. Respected gentlemen, this is our humble effort to support truth, dispute resolution, reconciliation, nonviolence, and peace. We do not support or oppose anyone. We very respectfully request President Trump to fulfill his poll promise to constitute inquiry for Saudi Wahhabi ideology terrorism. Pakistani origin Rizwan Malik and his Pakistani origin wife Afshan Malik both belongs to Saudi Wahhabi ideology and married in Saudi city of Jeddah. They massacred Christmas celebrating ex-colleagues of Rizwan Malik. Due to Saudi influence in the banned country list, neither Saudi Arabia nor Pakistan were included. At that time, presidential candidate Trump promises the inquiry and take hard line on Saudi-sponsored terrorism. Now Saudi Arabia managed to influence also President Trump. We very respectfully say that Saudi Arabia is running disinformation campaign against Qatar, Iran, India, USA and Turkey etc., putting blame of terrorism sponsorship, human rights violations on them. At the same time, Saudi Arabia has prevented publishing of investigations on terrorism, such as 1. Saudi Arabia influenced the USA to restrict resources of investigators so as they do not reach to bottom in 9/11 investigation. Also, they forced not to publish 28 pages critical to Saudi Arabia. 2. Saudi Arabia influenced UK Prime Minister Theresa May not to publish their terrorism research. 3. In 1987, veteran investigative journalist Nalini Singh found in her documentary that Saudi-funded Saudi Wahhabi terrorism is taking roots in Indian Kashmir. Saudi embassy intervened and forced the documentary from prime time to late night slot, and again Saudi embassy intervened to cancel the late night telecast of documentary on Indian national TV Doordarshan. 4. Saudi Arabia manipulated and misguided the military veterans and brought them to Washington to protest against JASTA. Later, many veterans criticized Saudi and their lobbyist. 5. WikiLeaks published that Saudi Arabia has invested $100 billion, which resulted in radicalization and development of terrorism by Saudi Wahhabi ideology. Terrorism is lethal disease like cancer. A thorough research is needed to fight this disease. It is established that people become terrorists when they adopt Saudi Wahhabi ideology. They are followers of Saudi-funded poisonous preachers. All terrorist organizations, Mujahideen Khalq, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Boko Haram, Lashkar-e-Toiba, Lashkar-e-Jhangvi, Sipahi Sahaba, Jabhat Nusra, Al-Shabaab, Jaish Mohammed, Ahrar al-Sham etc. are of Saudi Wahhabi ideology and they receive Saudi funding. For every criminal conspiracy there is some purpose. Saudi Arabia has spent $100 billion on terror funding to target the democracies around the world, including USA, Iran, Turkey, India, Sri Lanka etc. The victims of terrorism and those fighting terrorism are unfortunately sanctioned by us under the corrupt influence of Saudi Arabian money and lobbyists. IRGC gave sacrifices in defeating ISIS, otherwise after capturing Iraq and Syria the next target will be whole world. The ISIS caliphate is having global ambitions. We must appreciate and support the IRGC for their efforts. IRGC sacrifices save the whole world. Saudi Wahhabi terrorist attacked IRGC on 13th February and next day 14th February again Saudi Wahhabi terrorist attacked CRPF in India. In future Saudi can influence America to brand CRPF as well as terrorist organization and sanction it. Whoever is fighting terrorist instead of getting appreciation is branded as terrorist. ISIS is still a potent threat. Honest and impartial investigation is needed. That Saudi Arabia has provided support to Saudi Wahhabi terrorists, including funds, arms, Hollywood quality cameras for media propaganda. 60,000 Toyota 4X4 pickup trucks were procured by Saudi groups and supplied to ISIS. Taliban were also using Saudi financed Toyota 4X4 pickup trucks. Saudi Preaching Network provided recruitment and logistics for new ISIS joiners from all over the world. Under Saudi corrupt influence, US Treasury had not done any efforts to block ISIS illegal sale of crude oil or selling of human organs. We must investigate honestly without any Saudi influence. It will convince Saudi Arabia to stop terror funding. Saudi Arabia is milking pilgrims by charging them very high amounts. Please also investigate whether Saudi Arabia is stealing through directional drilling Iranian oil and this extra money is going into terrorism funding so as their anti-democracy agenda and brutal Saudi dictatorship keep on going. We want to convince Saudi Arabia to change its malign behavior.